Hi Libra, I hope that everybody's doing well. Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. Libra, what's got you all caught up in your head? Feeling a little bit stuck? Hearing something about needing support? It looks like you're in your head about reciprocity. It's like maybe having a hard time expressing expectations, possibly. Sometimes we do this thing where we allow things to play out while secretly having a motive or a desire, and we don't express that, and then when it doesn't come through we feel disappointed. I'm just picking this up. So this is about knowing the difference between you having expectations and not saying something and then feeling potentially resentful when it doesn't come through, versus you actually not having expectations and being like, I'm gonna go with the flow of it. Because when we're in a place where we're expecting something, it's absolutely necessary to be communicating this. Or when we're in a place where we truly don't have anything that we feel we need, to go with the flow then. But also knowing the difference too when it comes to how we're managing ourselves emotionally. Yeah. As I said before, when you have expectations, what helps you is speaking it out. I'm seeing something that needs to be communicated. But for whatever reason, and I don't know if you need help from somebody or you're here trying to help yourself, something absolutely needs to be communicated. And this is absolutely about expectations. It's like maybe you feel like a dynamic isn't equal, or you feel like you want to be compensated in a way that you're not being compensated, or you have some sort of expectation when it comes to like energy that you want to give, energy you expect to receive, and it feels like maybe some type of like dialogue or guideline is needed. If this is related to work, this is about maybe communicating something with a client. If this is about an interpersonal relationship or maybe multiple interpersonal relationships, this is again about being like, yeah, I expect this. If I'm gonna do this, I want this in return. Or like, if I'm gonna hold space for you, I expect you to hold space for me. Or like, I don't feel like that's happening and this is something that I want. So this is also about being willing to problem solve as well. So it's like, rather than stuffing it down and be like, I don't want anything from you, I don't need anything from you, this is about being real with yourself. And when you really do have these feelings about like what is going to allow you to feel empowered within a dynamic, this is about expressing that. Knowing too, people can't read your mind as well too, and sometimes we find ourselves in a place where we more intuitively understand somebody's needs, and maybe this person that you're dealing with isn't on that level, and so you can't hold them to that same expectation, because maybe you have a gift that's different from somebody else and they're not yet developed in that space to understand things between the lines. So this is also about you getting more comfortable communicating more actively, because I'm seeing that like at the bottom of it all, that's what is going to help you, and you're going to feel better about it, and you're not going to have these like feelings going up and down, because you may even be in a spot where it's like all of a sudden you're getting an onset of like feeling this and feeling that, and then like you're angry for a moment and then you're calming down. It's like you're going through all of this because there's something else bubbling up to the surface that needs to be addressed here. And this is the way that you address it. This is emotional management that we're doing. And it's happening because you're taking action and speaking something out that needs to be communicated. Yeah, it looks like you just got to get straight to the point. Some of you, you're letting something go. You're releasing something. And it seems like you've been making progress with doing this. You could be in a process where it feels like there's a lot of shedding going on right now, Libra. And this is like another thing that's going to have to be let go of. And it seems like you're understanding like what's being expected of you now in relation to like your own personal progress. It looks too like I'm hearing a desire for intimacy with the Four of Wands and the Nine of Cups. It's like you want to feel like you're in step with someone. And in order for this to happen, boundaries need to be set. But not doing so from like an activated or like triggered space. This is about doing so from a collected, cool, calm, collected space, from a centered space. So this is not about like feeling a type of way about something and then just like shooting out communication about setting boundaries and all of this. This is about you thinking things through and being centered and grounded, getting straight to the point when you communicate, but doing so with a sense of like tact and calmness to it, so you are received fully. I'm seeing too that you setting boundaries has also been something that you've been working on as well. Maybe with someone it's quite difficult to set boundaries with. The thing is that this may be somebody that you're setting boundaries with that it may be hard to stand up to at times, or you feel like they have kind of like this person, you may perceive them as like commanding respect in a way, but you may feel like it kind of goes against the way that you move. It's like you may feel like you're more flowy with the way that you do things, and this person that you're coming up against may be like a more like outgoing or like aggressive type of person when it comes to what they want and how they want things to be. This can also be an aspect of yourself that you're like kind of going between the two here. And this is about bringing things together. This is about you taking control in a way where you are assuming responsibility for yourself, saying what needs to be said, and also not allowing yourself to be intimidated in a way where you're not like coming through and showing up for yourself. This too, if this is not someone outside of you, you may have a propensity as well to like to micromanage things and control things. I'm looking at a highlight of fire here, which all of us have in our charts, and we all have the fire houses as well. So this may be something that you're letting go of, like wanting to be in control of things, wanting things to be like this, that, and needing it to be a particular way. So yeah, as much as this can be someone outside of yourself, it feels like you're letting go of a part of the ego that needs to have control of situations. Because it seems too like you've been doing a lot of work when it comes to like your emotional growth and your spiritual growth. And so this feels like another aspect of surrender that we are participating in now, Libra. How I'm seeing it too is that like this model of wanting to be in charge of things and wanting to be in control of things, this is about you reflecting that inward rather than feeling like you need to project this onto other people. This is about you taking control of your actions and what you're doing and letting go of this need for like anybody else to be included in what you're doing in that way. Just an example, it's like rather than controlling your partner's spending habits, this is about you managing your own spending habits. Again, just an example. So things like that. It's like you here minding yourself. Because sometimes too the frustration can come by us. It's like secretly and sometimes subconsciously we want to be like controlling our own lives and we feel out of control, and so then we like get some sort of gratification from controlling those around us, but it's always unfulfilling, not just because you can't control those around you, but because you're not really getting to the bottom catalyst of what it is that you're trying to do, and it's really for you to control yourself. And this is something that all of us go through too. It's not just a thing with Libra, and all of us have Libra, all of us have Venus in our charts, so it's not just you guys specifically. Or should I say us specifically. Okay, so there are no major arcanas in that first spread. Alright, so what's happening here? It seems like you're starting something off from a very, very good place. Maybe a foundation that you worked towards building, and now you're going to branch off of that. It seems like something's been developed and a goal has been met, and now you're ready to kind of take that on your back with you and begin some type of venture, something you feel excited about, and something that you feel secure doing as well. As I said before, I'm getting something about like having a foundation that you've built backing you with what this is that you're doing now. I am too seeing an emphasis on wands, so it definitely feels like there's like a lot of motivation and fire and passion that's tied into this. Ooh, for some of you, this is a project you're doing in relation to work, job, career, a way that you're making money, maybe a new role that you're stepping into, something that you're working on developing. May even be some new type of project you're working on. It seems too like there's an old role that is finishing now too, like something comes to an end. This can be trading out one source of income for another even. It seems too like you're being guided to check your intention and your motivation too, especially when it comes to things financially speaking. You may feel like you're getting a bit preoccupied when it comes to accruing money and things like that. It's like maybe sometimes we focus so much on like financial security that we don't think about what we're doing in order to, like, we don't think about the means. So this is too about being like, okay, if you're going to start something and you're going to be making money doing this, is it just a means to make money, or are you actually caring about what it is that you're doing? Is what you're doing to make money in alignment for you? Or is this coming from a space of you being like, well, I need more and more and more, and I want to make sure that I'm covered in that way? But doing so in a way that, like, it may not morally agree with you the way that you're making money. So this is too about checking your intention space here. And it can be something very small that may not completely align with you, and something that you want to be checking when it comes to your motivation for why you're doing what you're doing. Yeah, it seems like something that may have even been a thought is quickly coming to an end. Something that you could have even been considering doing. Yeah. It kind of looks like divine intervention to me, to be quite honest. So I don't know if this was somebody around you or this was something that you were doing, but it seems like something could have been going like a little bit like out of alignment even. So it could have been somebody trying to enter your life and do something that would have thrown you off, or maybe like you catching yourself in like some type of habit or like shadow behavior, and I'm seeing something come to an end. I'm hearing briskly. Like I'm seeing spirit actually stop this, whatever it is. Interesting. I am seeing this have to do with finances. And two, I mean, we're looking here at Saturn and Taurus speaks about our security and our comforts. And Saturn is about the consistency and the work that we put in order to get to where we're trying to go as well. And to make sure that we're doing it in the right ways for ourselves too. And Saturn can sometimes come through and like constrict something, restrict something that we were doing, or plans that we had made. But yeah, it seems like whatever this thing is that's coming to an end, it was absolutely necessary, and it was guided for this thing to be finished. For some of you, this could have even been someone you were working with. Yeah, I'm seeing you like really decide to check yourself here and be like, am I following my passions? Is this something that I want? Where's my motivation coming from? Because it seems like you could have maybe even done something that was easier, but you wouldn't have felt fulfilled within it, and maybe you felt like it would have been reflective of your shadow, or you could have chosen to do something that may have taken more time and more investment, but you feel like it's worth it to you because you feel a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction within that. For some of you, this was some sort of partnership even that ended. Somebody you were working with, or a partnership. For others of you, it can also be an interpersonal relationship that you have, depending on what this applies to for you. Like, I'm seeing, there's so many different stories that I'm seeing here, storylines. For some of you, you could have been offered like a lot of money to do something, to work on something, but then you recognized that it wasn't where you wanted to be, and so it had to come to an end, or like you didn't like the vibe of the job, or something that was being asked of you. And there was a sense of reflecting on this and being like, you know what, I'm just done with that. I'm going to go in a different direction, and like thinking about where it is that you want to go. Because you knew that even though financially you could have been well off, like in your heart, it wasn't something that aligned with you to be doing. Just another way that this could go for some of you. For some of you too, there could have been someone as well that's no longer in your life that you could have like had a relationship with at one point in time, and you may need to like re-end things with them again. Like there could be some kind of like bringing back to life, and it quickly ends just as soon as it began as well. Because there may be a thought that you may want to like rejoin someone again or bring somebody back into your life, but in thinking about it more, you decide not to. Maybe you know too that, interesting, maybe you know too that if you teamed up with someone, it may be lucrative, but when you think about it, it doesn't sit well with you, and so you don't end up doing it. Because it's like the more you reflect on this, you understand that you completed a lesson with this person and it's not to be renegotiated. I'm looking at Saturn, Gemini, Taurus, and Virgo. All right, my friends, we are going to end the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for participating and bringing your energy into this space. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.